friends, welcome back to another episode of SUSE OpenSUSE PageMaker Cluster, and you are watching TreeStack Institute, and this is a continuation of our previous episode, that is deploy a cluster. So this is the part 2 of that series, and in this episode we'll be discussing about how you will set up a cluster step by step. So to start with that, first thing you need to know what are the bootstrap scripts. So these are the script which helps you to set up your cluster. So when you install the package called HA cluster bootstrap, it helps you to get the scripts installed on your system. And there are total 3 type of scripts available. One is HA cluster init. So this defines the basic parameter needed for your cluster communication, and when you run this script, it creates a one node cluster. Then you have second script, that is HA cluster join. So from the name itself we can guess this helps you to add additional node to the existing cluster. And then you have the third script, that's called HA cluster remove. You guessed it right, it helps you to remove a node from the cluster. So what is the advantage of this script? So this script helps you to set up the cluster with minimum efforts and time. So when you run this script, so all of these scripts, they write the logs into the file /var/log/ha-cluster-bootstrap.log file. So in this file it writes all the activity details, so you can check this for any details related to the bootstrap process. And any option you are setting up during this bootstrap process execution, you can later change those options from the YAST cluster module. And all the scripts comes up with a manual page covering the range of functions it allows, then what all options it takes, and what all files and it can create and modify. Now we will be seeing more in details about HA cluster init script. So this checks and configures some following components like your NTP server configuration on the cluster node. Then for SSH it creates a passwordless authentication. Then it sets up Csync2 for replicating configuration files across the node. Then it helps you to set up Corosync for cluster communication, and SBD watchdog for fencing related service, and putting up monitoring using watchdog. Then it helps you to set up a virtual IP for accessing the Hawk web console. So this is a optional. If you don't want to set it up, you're not required to configure this. Then firewall, it configures to open necessary ports for cluster communication, and then it also helps you to set up the cluster name. So this is an optional option. If you want to use, you can set up your own custom name, else it will set up the name as HA cluster. And this option is helpful if you are setting up a geo cluster, where you can put a name for your cluster. And when you run this script, it at the end start the cluster service and Hawk service, by which you can monitor your cluster either from Hawk web console or CLI tool, that is called CRM. Now you know what HA cluster init script does. Now what it doesn't do, the first thing it doesn't do, that is it doesn't take the backup of your basic cluster configuration. So once you are done with setting up one node cluster using this script, take a backup of your script. And one more thing it doesn't do, if you remember, if you notice it, it only creates a single node cluster. It doesn't create a 2 node full-fledged cluster. So for doing that, you have to use HA cluster join script. So now you cannot directly run this HA cluster init script. So for that, first you need to do to set up your first node. So for doing that, you install SUSE 15 or OpenSUSE 15, and you include the pattern called enhanced base, and then you update the OS to the latest patch level. And once it's done with that, you install the HA pattern, that is HA_SLES. So you use the command gpr in HA_SLES. And before starting with the configuration, ensure you have a shared storage available for SBD disk. So this can be at 50 MB or 100 MB, but it should be shared among all the cluster nodes. And then you have to enable the Softdog watchdog for disk based SBD if you are planning to use SBD as a fencing mechanism. Once you are done with this, then you run the HA cluster init script on the first node, And if you want to set up a specific name for your cluster, you do like HA cluster init hyphen name, and you give the name like my cluster. So it will create a cluster with the name my cluster. So once you are done with this, you need to test that one node cluster. So for that, from a browser you open the HA web console. So for that, use HTTPS and you give a IP address whatever you got it during the HA cluster init script run. So this IP address, if you are setting up virtual IP, if you, as you saw in previous slides, that then you have to use that virtual IP for using your Hawk web console, and you have to use the port number 7630. So example is like that, you use HTTPS then IP and :7630. And remember the default login details are like username HA cluster and password is Linux, and you don't forget to change this password to some other complex password so that people don't able to guess the password. And the cluster status, it shows once you log into the web console. If you don't want to use via Hawk, you can use CRM. So you run the command CRM status and you will see the cluster status with running with a single node. Now once you are done with your first node installation and setting up and testing it, then you proceed with the second node installation. So it will be same as like first node, where you install SUSE, then you install enhanced base and HA pattern, and you install all the latest patches and configure SBD. Then you run the script called HA cluster join, not HA cluster init. So here you need to run HA cluster join, and there you supply the existing IP address of an existing cluster node, and you put the root password for that node, and then you wait for it to complete the joining process. So once it's done with that, you can run, if you can run CRM status, you will be seeing that your cluster is configured with 2 node cluster. And remember, with this same process you can follow to add up to 31 nodes. So total you can have 32 nodes for your pacemaker cluster. So once you are done with second node also, then don't forget to take your cluster backup configuration, because this is the right time to take a backup. So once you are done with your initial deployment, you back up the configuration files, and also implement a change control process, so that not everyone can go and change the cluster configuration. So there should be a proper process where people need to raise a change and then get it approved, and then let them make the changes in your cluster, so that you can have a control over the cluster. So that's all for today's episode. In the next episode, we will be seeing how you can secure a cluster communication. So thank you for watching the episode, and hope you have subscribed to my channel already. If you have not subscribed to it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, the Stitch Tech Institute, and also press the bell icon so that you get notification about upcoming videos. And if you like this video, please like it, share it with your friends, colleagues and all. And also you can put your thoughts in the comment sections. If you don't like also, that's fine, you press the unlike button and put in the comment section why you didn't like, so that we can improve our next videos accordingly. So bye, have a good day, we will see you in our next video.